Hey guys, it's Simeon. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 7th of September 2019. Oh crap, I missed my brother's birthday over the weekend. I'll text him later. 2020 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw. I thought tonight's show was a little boring. It was alright. Let's throw the poll up here to see what you guys thought of tonight's Raw. What did you think of tonight's Raw? I liked it. It was alright. I didn't like it. But with that, we're here to talk about everything that went down, break down the whole show, and always remember, if you want to be part of tonight's review, if you want to be part of the show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, the number is 510-906-1341. Let me put that in the chat if it will work, because the other day it wasn't working. But let's try this again. See if I can get the number to go just right into the chat, and it's still not wanting to work. We'll try it there in a moment. The number will be, oh, nope, I still have. The number will be scrolling across the screen right down there periodically, and we might be able to get it in the chat. There we go. Boom. Now you guys got the number. Remember, if you want to text in and be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting into 510-906-1341. Also, remember, we're here on Twitch, twitch.tv/PWUnlimited. And if you want to support us here on Twitch, you can do so a couple of different ways. You can either give us some bits as a donation, really do appreciate that, or you can subscribe to the channel with either a Tier 1 subscription or Amazon Prime, because if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Twitch Prime. Not anymore, no, you have Prime Gaming. So if you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, and with that, you can subscribe to any one Twitch channel you want, absolutely free. And please, we beg of you, we ask, give that free subscription to us, because if you have Amazon Prime and you're not using it, if you're already paying that $12 a month, then that's money sitting in your pocket, sitting in your wallet, just going to waste. Well, why not link your Amazon account to your Twitch account and help us out by giving us that free Twitch Prime subscription? But with that, we've got a number of you in here, so let's quit the dilly-dallying and let's talk about Raw. The Raw kicked off with Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and Samoa Joe on commentary. Cole noted that Tom Phillips is off for the week. Now, I saw everything going around Twitter. I saw fans trying to speculate. I don't know anything as far as where Tom Phillips is, so I'm not even going to try to speculate, because I ain't that one. I ain't that one that's going to go out here and say, oh, Tom Phillips is gone because of this. I haven't been told anything. I haven't heard anything. Nothing that I would say is believable. I've seen people try to make stuff up. But they said he had a week off, so that's what we're going to believe. Is there something else? Is there another reason? There could be. But they just said he's got the week off. Randy Orton came out, and Orton bragged about beating Kevin Owens last week. He then said that he defeated Seth Rollins and Keith Lee. And he still couldn't believe that he has to face Keith Lee again tonight. He threatened, well, to kick Keith Lee in the head. He wanted to list all the people that he has kicked in the head, but didn't have enough time because Raw is only a 3-hour show. I mean, if we're going all the way back, one of them people he kicked in the head, if I'm not mistaken, is Vince McMahon. He said that he wondered if Drew McIntyre could even make it to Clash of Champions, or as he called it, Clash. He then recapped what he did to McIntyre, kicking him in the head 3 times. He said they should just hand him the title, because there's no way Drew McIntyre makes it to the pay-per-view, and if McIntyre can't compete, he should be just gifted the belt. A siren then started to play, and no, Scott Steiner wasn't coming out. An ambulance drove in next to the stage, and McIntyre emerged from the driver's seat. McIntyre was making his way down to the ring. As he got out, his music started to play. Orton then looked a little concerned and took a Claymore kick out of nowhere. McIntyre began hammering away on Randy Orton before officials broke it up. McIntyre easily wiped out Orton, and it was cool the first time they did it. Now, I know what you're going to say. I'm just going to say, well, what do you mean it's not cool? More than once. Randy did it more than once, and you didn't complain. No, I didn't. But that's because he's a heel. It's not cool for the baby face to keep attacking the heel over and over and over, trying to put the baby face in the hospital. No, that's a heel thing to do. So I was torn on if I thought that was a good idea for McIntyre to attack Randy Orton 3 times tonight. You see the Hurt Business. And this was weird as all get down. So they're walking in, and you hear MVP go, yeah, man, there was these twins, but I didn't know they were twins. And then some janitor just goes, how you doing, guys? And they stop in their tracks, the Hurt Business. MVP turns around and goes, excuse me, what did you say? And he's like, what did you say about Shelton's mama? And the janitor's like, what? I didn't say anything about his mom. And Benjamin was kind of just like, oh, I heard it too. And MVP said, are you calling me a liar then? They couldn't reason with him. So Benjamin low-blowed him. And then they walked off, and MVP continued telling a story. Very unneeded and kind of stupid. Like he said, hey guys, how's it going? Or something along those lines. Or just, hey guys. And then they get pissed at him and say, did you say something about Shelton's mama? That was dumb. So Adam Pearce found McIntyre backstage, and he's like, what are you even doing here? Drew, you're not even cleared to compete. And if you get hurt again, you can't compete at Clash of Champions. He's like, you're not supposed to be here at all. Pearce understood that McIntyre wanted to get some revenge on Randy Orton. He's like, I understand it, but you're not cleared. He's like, we can't have another incident. You need to leave right now. And McIntyre goes, okay, I'm leaving. Don't worry about it. McIntyre said he's already done what he came to do. And why does he need to stay any longer? Pearce told security, we can't have any more problems tonight. And here's the thing. Last week, he told security we can't have any problems. And Retribution got in twice. This week, unless I missed something, no Retribution. But McIntyre kept getting in. Technically, McIntyre never left. He was just creeping around backstage. So we get a 6-man tag team match here. It's the Hurt Business. Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin against Apollo Crews, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander. So the Hurt Business attacked Alexander during his entrance. Alexander turned on his team, though, later on in this match. Crews tried to make a tag to Ricochet at one point, and Alexander yanked him off the apron. He then attacked Ricochet, tossed him into the barricade, jumped in the ring, and gave Crews the lumbar check. Benjamin finished him off with some pay dirt and picked up the victory. Hurt Business were all smiles. Alexander was walking back up the stage, smirked down at the Hurt Business, but he didn't immediately join the group there. We assumed that's what's going to happen. We assumed it at the time, which it did. But I'm still a little skeptical about all this. Another interesting move where a partner didn't care about his partners. We had the Street Profits taking on Angel Garza and Andrade for the 50,000 millionth time. There's a replay of Garza ditching his friends last week and then ditching Demi Burnett. Garza came out first by himself. And here's the thing. Garza's got to feel like they don't care about him already anyways. Because he comes out all by himself. Andrade and Zelina come out together to Andrade's music. Don't even look at Garza and just, Garza standing here. Right down the ramp. Don't even give him two shakes. Garza argued with Vega on the outside as Andrade demanded that he pay attention to their match. Match went about 2 minutes in length. Garza began leaving at this point, maybe a minute in. And they're like, where are you going? We need you. Where are you? He's like, oh, you don't tell me what to do. I'm gone. Dawkins then gave Andrade a spine buster. Ford hit him with a frog splash and pinned him. Ford almost looked like, do I pin him? I feel sorry for the guy. I got to win, though. Like, he had that look of, like, hesitation almost. They got Garza got to the top of the ramp. Garza got to the top of the ramp. Kind of looked back and goes, hey, what do you expect? Well, I don't know where this is leading to other than possibly Garza versus Andrade. Jay Penix said Retribution was on Raw, and it looked like you cab tell who two of them are. Okay, then it must have been, I must have missed that when my kids came home tonight because they were at their mom's over the weekend. She dropped them off tonight, and it must have been during the Retribution deal where I was outside for a few minutes. So as Garza leaves, all of a sudden, Cesaro's music hits. Nakamura comes out with him as well. And they saunter down to the ring. And they get in there. Michael Cole says, whoa, are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions here part of the brand Invitational? And my first thought was, that's still a thing? And then Michael Cole said something about, yeah, we have the quarterly brand versus brand Invitational. And I go, oh, I didn't know that was still a thing. Cesaro and Nakamura got in the ring, and they made fun of the Street Profits. Cesaro said he was surprised to learn that the Profits were the longest reigning Raw Tag Team Champions in years. He's like, it's easy when you don't defend your titles that often. Nakamura made a joke saying, you guys are more busy playing basketball or fighting off ninjas. Cesaro said that they're taking advantage of the quarterly brand-to-brand invitational, and they've got a challenge to make. Nakamura would go on to say, we want the smock. Not the smoke, the smock. I know accents and stuff, but it was funny. Dawkins interrupted and goes, whoa, copyright infringement, fam. Ford then said, Cesaro has had many partners. Is this like the Bar 2.0? And with how many partners you've had, maybe you need to get an STD test. But he said, like he said it, but almost didn't want to say it. He's like, with how many partners you've had, Cesaro, you should get an STD test. And Dawkins then said, I call a lot of people fam, but when it comes to Montez, he is family. So, he used the full word, which means he was serious. The SmackDown Tag Team Champions then stated that they want to challenge the Raw Tag Team Champions to a Champions versus Champions Tag Team match last week. And Dawkins said, I'm down. He said, you tell him, Tez. And he goes, we're in, and we want... And then Cesaro goes, stop. And Nakamura goes, the smock. And Michael Cole fake laughed. Ha, 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 ha. All right, cool, whatever. So next week, we will have the Raw Tag Team Champions and the Street Profits taking on the SmackDown Tag Team Champions and Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. So R-Truth was having dinner in a suit in the arena, I guess. They made you want to think it was in a restaurant. His order came. He was with Lil Jimmy. And, well, a ninja was hidden in the food cart. Cesaro then showed up. He said, Lil Jimmy, catch my belt. And he threw it and it just hit the floor because, well, there is no Lil Jimmy. He then grabbed the food cart, pushed it into Tozawa, pushed the cart a little farther, told some concierge or host guy, I didn't ask for no ninja. You guys need to get your stuff straight. Super stupid. Like, super dumb. Then we hear some weird music. We look up on the screen. It says Peyton Royce. Peyton got new music, of course. And Michael Cole tells us that the Iconics were made to break up last week. And now tonight, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay will square off against each other in the ring. The Kay's entrance referenced her as the Femme Fatale. Royce wore red, Kay wore gold. Basically, they just said, bring some gear, make sure it doesn't match. Because those are all gear they've worn in the past. This match was not good. This was not good at all. They exchanged slaps early on. The match went back and forth until Royce won with a spinning brainbuster. The spinning brainbuster looked good, but nothing else really did. After the match, after the match, Peyton Royce helped Billie Kay to her feet and they hugged. But before the match even started, Billie Kay was walking down to the ring and had the most nervous look I've ever seen on her face. She never looks nervous. But going out here tonight against Peyton Royce in a singles match one-on-one, she looked nervous. And she had some weird skirt thing on, and Joe made fun of it. He's like, whoa, what is that Billie Kay's wearing? I was like, okay. Well, I don't know where this is going other than Peyton Royce probably getting some sort of a push because Vince really likes her and thinks that she is very marketable. They plugged next up that, well, not next up, but they plugged it tonight. Dominic Mysterio will be facing Murphy and referred to Murphy as the ex-disciple of Seth Rollins. My first thought was, when did this happen? When did Seth denounce Murphy as his disciple? Last week, all he said was, get out of here before you mess something up for me again. Get out of the ring, and he smacked him on the back of the head or whatever. But he never denounced him as a disciple, so that's where I'm confused. I didn't see anything on social media either. They show the entire Mysterio family, and they stated that all four of them will be coming to the ring next for an interview. Also, our poll has completed. I asked you guys what you thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw, and it was all right for you guys. 52% of you said tonight's Raw was just all right. 33% of you said you liked it, and 14% of you said you didn't like it. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. So going forward, the Mysterio family came down for an interview with Charlie Caruso. He introduced Ray, Dominic, Angie, and Aaliyah. Mysterio couldn't wait to get his hands on Rollins eventually, but after he heals from his injury. Mysterio said he doesn't know exactly how long he's going to be out of action, but vows to be back and better than ever. Mysterio then said that he knew that Murphy was out for vengeance, but Dominic was ready. Before Dominic can say anything, though, Murphy interrupted on the big screen. Murphy blamed them for Rollins leaving him. Again, when did this happen? I get it, Rollins didn't want him at ringside last week, but when did Rollins cut him off and say, hey, no more Big Daddy Rollins, no more Messiah for you? Murphy then says that now he wants to end Dominic's career. Well, before it even gets started, Murphy then challenged him to a street fight. Dominic accused Murphy of hurting his family as much as Rollins has done in the past, so he accepts the street fight stipulation. Murphy is very pleased by this. He invited the Mysterios to all be at ringside and watch. Dominic warned him not to lay a finger on any of his family. No, they just laid kendo sticks to him. In the back, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Well, actually, we learned that Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler will be taking on the Riot Squad tonight, but in separate handicap matches. Which, like, what? Huh? In the back, Baszler asked Pierce, why do I have to do this? And he goes, well, Nia said you could take both of them on yourself. And he was like, so I thought if you can do it, she should be able to do it. So why not both of you have handicap matches tonight? And Jax was like, whoa, this is new to me. I didn't say I could do it. I didn't say I wanted to. Pierce then saw McIntyre walk by, so he was like, screw you guys. Hey, Drew, I thought I told you to leave. And McIntyre was like, basically, relax. I'm getting ready to go. Taking care of some things. Next up, the Raw Women's Champion Asuka came out, and we learned that she will be teaming tonight with Mickie James to take on Natalya and Lana. But after they team tonight, next week, they're going to fight for the title when Mickie James challenges Asuka next week for the Raw Women's Championship. Excuse me. So the heels worked over James. Lana almost pinned her with an X Factor, but Asuka broke up the cover. They really didn't do Mickie any favors as the challenger here, because basically, Mickie got her ass beat in this match. Natalya chucked Asuka from the ring. James gave Lana a neck breaker, but Asuka wasn't there to get the tag, and she just kept getting beat down, and then she would go for the tag on Asuka, and Natty would jump in and pull her, or Lana would jump in and pull her back, and then finally she was able to get there, and well, Asuka wasn't there. James then went to the top, but Asuka reemerged and tagged herself in. Asuka put Lana in an Asuka lock as James took out Natty with a Mick kick on the outside. Lana tapped out, and there we go. But the weird thing was we never saw the tap out because the cameras were more focused on Mickey getting the Mick kick on the outside. There was a lot of fumbling in this match. So in the back, MVP was with the Hurt Business and Cedric Alexander and said, "You ready to make this official, bud?" Alexander said yes. MVP and Lashley left. Benjamin stayed back with Alexander to tell him that this better not be some sort of game. We're going to find out, and that ain't going to fly. Look at the MVP lounge. Alexander entered with the Hurt Business. MVP introduced him as the newest member of the group. Benjamin, though, still looked skeptical. Alexander said that he was tired of being on the wrong side of a beatdown. He was tired of not earning enough money. He then said, "I'm also tired of being in a tag team with a selfish guy that calls himself the one and only. What about me, Ricochet?" He then wondered why he's also sacrificing his own career to help Apollo Crews go for the U.S. Championship. He said, "Why do I have to help somebody else try to get a title shot? What about me?" He then called the Hurt Business the future, and the Viking Raiders music hit. Viking Raiders come out, and they're also met with Apollo Crews and Ricochet. All four guys brawl before we go to commercial. Excuse me. So, everyone traded big moves in this match. It was the Hurt Business, all four of them, against the Viking Raiders, Ricochet, and Apollo Crews. Now, there was a spot where they get most of everybody is outside, and Ivar dives through the ropes, and he takes them all down, but lands awkwardly, and all of a sudden just starts smacking his right arm, just smacking it over and over and over because he lost feeling in it, it looked like. The referee immediately goes to check on him, throws up the X sign, and they never show Ivar again until the end of the match. So Alexander at one point avoided a 630 splash by Ricochet and nailed a Michinoku driver on him for the pinfall. Technically, though, Ricochet kicked out at 3, and the referee counted it anyways. They showed that, so I don't know if that was a mess up or if it was the storyline. But then afterwards, they also said, "We hope Ivar's okay. He's being attended to right now by medical personnel." And you can see one of them saying, "Hey, can you move your fingers?" That's not good. Hopefully Ivar didn't break his arm. Because or mess up his shoulder or something. Because like I said, when he landed, let me see if I can pull up a GIF of it. When he landed a little weird. I think I may have it here. Let me see if I can find a more clear one. This is a little blurry. Ivar. Let's see. Is there a video of it here I can show? None of these are really that clear. I guess this one's all right. Let's do this one. All right, let's flip this over here. It wasn't good. This wasn't a good thing to see. So, whoa, that's not working right. Give me one more second, guys. Okay, so if we watch right here, Ivar goes for the dive, and his right arm hits everybody, but then he immediately starts hitting it. Let's watch it one last time. I don't know exactly what happened. That's his left arm, my bad. No, that's his right arm. I don't know exactly what happened there, but he looked hurt. Doctors were checking on him afterwards, and they even acknowledged it on the commentary. Charlie Caruso. Jacko said his ankle twisted. Looked like his arm. Why would he be smacking his arm? I mean, was that reported anywhere that his ankle was hurt? I didn't see any. I didn't see anything that said ankle. I mean, like I said, I saw him hitting the arm. And apparently, because of the injury, they changed the finish technically, too, is what I'm reading here. I don't know. Maybe it was the ankle. We'll hopefully know more in the morning. Exactly what's going on with like I said, Ivar. Jay Penning says Retribution was a Raw. Again, like I said, there was 5 minutes I missed of the show, and it was probably like 5 or 6 minutes I missed, and that may have been what I missed was the Retribution stuff. So again, Charlie Caruso interviewed McIntyre, basically asking why he's still here. Why haven't you left? You were told to leave. He said he couldn't find his phone or the exit. Ha ha ha. He said he would do his best to find his phone. Kevin Owens approached Shane McMahon at the door of Raw Underground. Shane admitted they've had some problems in the past and said, "Hey, let's just it's all under the bridge, water under the bridge." Owens like, "Yeah, I don't know if I could think that way. You're still a jackass." And Shane opened the door for him. Randy Orton came out, took on Keith Lee in a match that ended the exact same way their last Raw match did. Fucking DQ when McIntyre ran out. Gotta be fucking kidding me. Orton tried stalling. Lee went after him at the beginning of the match. Orton took over very quickly by thumb in the eye of Keith Lee. Orton went for an RKO, but Lee didn't even budge, which made him look very strong. Lee knocked Orton from the ring and went for a pounce, but Orton simply dropped down, and Lee just ran over him and collided with the barricade. It's a very smart way for someone to avoid that pounce. Everyone just takes the pounce because everyone tries to leap over him, but they're not quick enough. But Orton just swoop. Great way. Great counter right there. Or defense, I guess you could say. At one point, Orton applied a chin lock, but Lee got to his feet. Orton still was on his back. Orton tried an RKO, but Lee slipped out of it. Lee follows up with a splash and an elbow strike and a power slam for a 2. Orton slipped off Lee's shoulders and hit an RKO. McIntyre would then fly in with another Claymore kick out of nowhere, causing the disqualification in this match. McIntyre said he wanted Orton to see him and see him in his nightmares. He also, well, no, he said something else, but he said it later, so we'll talk about more of that later. Basically, this is the third time these two have fought, and only one of the 3 times there's been an actual finish. Because they don't want to beat Keith Lee, but I don't know, is the thing. You would say, but they don't want to beat Orton, but they did beat Orton at Payback. Because the whole thing about these finishes like this, it's always like, they don't want to beat Keith Lee, but they also don't want to beat the other guy. But they did beat the other guy with Keith Lee. So, I don't know. I think this needs to be just done. Keith Lee, Randy Orton, done. Let Keith Lee go squash more guys like Dolph. Make him a damn monster. But a babyface type monster. We go to Raw Underground. Aleister Black beats some guy down really quickly with a black mass. Shane said they're still waiting on Kevin Owens. Waiting on Kevin Owens? Did he get lost walking from the door to where the ring is? We saw him enter before Black. What the fuck? Still waiting on Kevin Owens, and all of a sudden Kevin Owens appeared and tackled Black. So did Kevin Owens walk in and go hide? They brawled for a few seconds until Orton gave Black a back body drop onto the outside, and that left both guys hurt somehow. Like, I get it. Black got back body dropped. Why is Kevin hurt from? Well, what's Kevin hurt from? Shane promptly then cut to commercial. And then we got more Raw Underground later. So after the break, Orton yelled at Pierce and said, "Do your job. Why does this guy keep attacking me after you've told him to leave?" And Pierce assured him, "Hey, we've escorted him out of the ring or out of the building personally." Orton said his word meant nothing to him. And Orton ain't no dummy, and Orton wasn't a dummy because Orton was right. Next up, we get 2-on-1 handicap match. Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan against Shayna Baszler. Match about 2.5 minutes. Baszler was in control of Morgan, but was distracted by Jax mocking her offense. Morgan used the distraction to slip out of a move and roll up Baszler for the pinfall victory. Jax laughed. Then go to Raw Underground again. Owens and Black were back at it fighting in the ring. Black had him in an armbar, but Owens slugged him and got him to break it. And then he slung him into a wall. Orton's bumped into somebody. So he and Black each began punching random people. Like what? This Raw Underground was the worst Raw Underground so far. Go back to the ring in the main Thunderdome Arena. 2-on-1 handicap match, Riot Squad versus Nia this time. This one went about 3 minutes or so before they were interrupted by Retribution. Morgan made a tag as the lights began to flicker. Ruby gave Jax a riot kick, and Morgan followed with a modified code breaker. The lights continued to flicker as Jax went out at 2. The lights went out. Again, I didn't see this, but I have a guy that helps me do the notes, and so he did put it in the notes. So I'm going to read what he put in the notes because I didn't actually see it. Because again, I saw the Raw Underground stuff where Owens and Black started fighting each other, and then I didn't see anything else until Mysterio was being interviewed backstage. So my notes do state Retribution appeared on the screen. They have a logo now. They spoke with voice modulation. They said WWE discarded and disowned them. They were driven to destroy every superstar and every fan. The darkness of Retribution will seep into the pores of everyone and every superstar. We are Retribution. Now again, that I didn't see, but I do have someone that helps me with my notes if I do miss stuff because I'm sometimes busy with the kids, and that was put in there for me. So yeah, Retribution, so they want to take out everybody. Cool. Rey Mysterio then told Sarah Schreiber that they were not intimidated by Murphy's words and knew he was just trying to get into Rollins' good graces again. If Murphy tried anything, though, they knew how to handle themselves. We go back to Raw Underground. Owens and Black were at it again. Owens used a double foot stomp, which I'm sure he couldn't wait to do in this fake shoot fight. Owens bumped into Dabba-Kato. Dabba-Kato laid him out. Black tried to take advantage, but Dabba-Kato gave him a choke slam, and that was that. It was just over. Like, you build up all show. These two are going to fight, and you give us 3 segments for just Dabba-Kato to squash them both quick? Oh, looks like there's a Ivar update on WWE's Twitter. Let's go check that out real fast. All right, WWE has stated, and I quote from WWE.com, during the 8-man tag team match on Monday night, Ivar suffered a cervical injury on a Viking dive to the floor. As a precaution, Ivar was transported to a local hospital and is expected to make a full recovery. Now, I'm not sure what a cervical injury is, but when you Google it, it states a cervical injury is trauma. It says cervical injury definition. Trauma is the most common cause of a cervical injury, and this can include motor vehicle accidents, falls, penetrating or blunt trauma, sports-related or diving injuries. Okay, but what is what's a spinal cord injury? Oh no. That's not good. A cervical injury is a spinal cord injury. That is not good at all, but that is what WWE stated. Like I said, it stated, Ivar suffered a cervical injury on a Viking dive. That's not good. They say he's supposed to make a full recovery or expected to make a full recovery, so we'll see how that goes, and we'll follow up on this story if we do hear anything else. Thank you guys for pointing me to that WWE had given that update. Where were we? So, Orton was in the back, and he was limping. He has luggage with him when Charlie Caruso tried to interview him, but he was attacked again by Drew McIntyre. McIntyre tossed him into the staged ring deal where they do some of the interviews for pay-per-view and stuff. So basically, he gets taken down again, laid out. McIntyre then says, I want to do to you like you did to me. I want to send you off in the same ambulance you sent me off in. Gave him another Claymore kick and finally left. After the break, we saw Orton on a stretcher being put into an ambulance, just like we saw with McIntyre a few weeks ago. Again, like I stated, with the heel attacking the babyface over and over and over, that makes sense. But the babyface to keep attacking the heel? Oh, no. I didn't like that at all. Could be in the minority, and others may have liked it, but I didn't. Going forward, we had Dominic Mysterio with his father, Rey Mysterio, his mother, Angie, and his sister, Aaliyah, all in his corner, all holding kendo sticks. Match went about 14-15 minutes. Murphy immediately kneed Dominic before launching him over the announce table. Murphy had his eyes on the whole Mysterio family, but Dominic attacked him and launched him over the table. They fought toward the crowd when Dominic climbed on top of the front row of screens and jumped off with a big dive on Murphy. This looked very, very cool. Basically, you got those rows of screens for the crowd, and Dominic was on top of the first row, just leaped right off, perfect dive right onto Murphy. This looked great. Dominic was still in control after a commercial break. Murphy, though, fought him off and slammed him into the edge of the ramp. Murphy tried shoving his eye into the steps, but he fought back, and before Murphy dropped him over the barricade. Murphy attacked him with a steel chair and covered him for a 2. Dominic tried a DDT, but Murphy launched him 3 times into the ring post. Murphy tied him up in the ropes and tried attacking him with the kendo stick, but Dominic kicked him away. Murphy went for the kendo stick, and Ray grabbed the stick from him. Well, Murphy was on the outside. Angie and Aaliyah freed Dominic from the ropes. Dominic then ran towards the ropes and hit a sunset flip bomb, sending Murphy into a table on the outside. This looked really cool as well. Dominic then followed this up with a frog splash, but Murphy kicked out of the pin attempt. Ray and Dominic then tied up Murphy in the ropes and took turns hitting him with kendo sticks. They lifted up his shirt before continuing the kendo stick attack and bringing Angie and Aaliyah in the ring to help out with the kendo stick shots. And Angie's shot looked all right, but Aaliyah looked like she was just hitting Murphy so hard, like she was just told, all right, don't hold back, just whip him. Like Aaliyah's shots, holy crap, or she just reining them in. She wasn't just kind of like, because like when Angie did it, she kind of like pulled back. You can see she waited a second and then just threw the shot in. Once Aaliyah had like the freaking, opening, she was like 2 or 3 times. So after a few shots, Murphy verbally submitted. Dominic wins. After the match, the entire team continued beating the crap out of Murphy. Just kendo stick shots after kendo stick shot after kendo stick shot with Murphy laying on the ground. And never once did we see Seth Rollins. Because my whole thing was, oh, they keep telling us that he's the ex-disciple because he's really not. And Rollins is going to come out at the end or something during the street fight. Nope. No Seth Rollins. As the match was ending and the show was going, or as the match was over and the show was going off the air, Rey Mysterio said, I hope you liked what you saw here, Rey. Or Rey said, I hope you liked what you saw here, Seth. And he said something about making Seth his bitch. So, wasn't much of a show. Kind of a meh show in my opinion. If I had to rate it, I'd probably go 6.5. No, I can't even say that. I'd go 6. I was almost going to say 6.5, but no, I'd go 6. I thought, to me, it's kind of like 7 is average, which technically 5 should be the average mark if you're really looking at it 1 through 5 or 1 through 10. But to me, 7 is like, okay, that was okay. That was a normal good show. Then you go up from there to pretty good, and then like a 8, 9 to be really good, and then 10 to be like a great show, which I rarely, if ever, give a 10. But I thought this was below okay. Like I said, 7 is like okay to good, and I didn't even think it was there. So I'd go 6 to where it was like all right, watchable. But that was tonight's Raw. Remember, if you guys want to be part of the show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, the number is 510-906-1341. We do have a couple text messages here. And this person says, do you see Aaliyah Mysterio taking the same path that Dominic did and getting signed? I have no clue. She literally just graduated high school, so I don't even know what her plans are. This person says Seth basically ended it at Payback when he stared at Murphy, I think you meant, and just walked off. But he never really said, you're not my disciple anymore. That's the thing. He just said, I don't want you messing things up here at ringside last week, so go. He never said, you're no longer my disciple. That's the thing. He needed to make it clear. You're no longer my disciple, which leads me to believe that they want us to think he's no longer the disciple. But Seth never said it, so he still is. It's all a swerve. This person says, when do you think Rude returns, and what's his role? Well, we know that he's going to be on Raw, most likely still with Dolph, because Dolph said when AJ went to SmackDown, me and Rude were traded to Raw. But when he comes back, I don't know, because their whole thing is, oh, we can't get anybody in from Canada right now. Bullshit. Frickin' Ethan Page lives in Canada, and he goes to the Impact tapings, no problem. So, I don't know, WWE. But with that, guys, that's going to wrap things up here for tonight's Monday Night Raw review. Remember, we will be live tomorrow for NXT Super Tuesday Part 2. So follow us right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/PWUnlimited. If you missed any of this show or any previous live streams where we reviewed some wrestling, you can get those on the PW Unlimited YouTube channel, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. You can also follow our website, PWUnlimited.co. You can also follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. And follow us on Instagram by searching for Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Hot Rob Bubba says, hey, Tim, Murphy say quit. Yes, Murphy verbally quit and said, I quit. I give up. He verbally submitted. But with that, guys, that's going to do it for tonight's review. Have a great, great night, and we'll see you tomorrow for NXT.